And the nurses are rude and
Not
mean.
always, not always.
My name is Odie, and I am currently in Egypt with my sister, and she would like to talk about referral letters because many in Malaysia are mentally fucked, and we gotta do something about it.
Okay, so here's the
Do
thing.
the thing.
Okay, so here's the thing about Malaysian punya mental health care. They don't tell you anything, so you're really confused. Especially like in my experience, when I first started showing symptoms of my bipolar disorder, I had no idea what to do. So when a friend suggested private hospitals, I ended up spending a lot for my appointments,
A lot of
and
money that we didn't have.
it took me a long time to realize that government hospitals actually provided the same treatment. But here's the difference. Uh, and the most important part of getting treatment from government hospitals is the referral letter. That's the thing that they want from you before you can apply, get help, before you can apply for an appointment with them. Now, here's the hard part about getting a referral letter.
Hard part number one.
The stigma against mental illness has gotten better in Malaysia, but for the most part, they're still skeptical. So if you go to general doctors, to therapists, ke mana-mana and everything to ask for a referral letter, 9 times out of 10, they'll be very skeptical. And if they're a Malay doctor, they'll talk about like, oh, you need to just pray more, doa more and shit and everything apa semua.
My sister
Which
calls
is
it
the
skepticism. I just call it stupidity.
and so you really have to insist. If you really want that referral letter, I genuinely suggest that you insist on it. And one of the things that you can do to help persuade them to give you the referral letter is, in my experience, you write down all your symptoms, everything that you experience is causing you to causing you to become dysfunctional, not allowing you to live in a society properly. You write all of that down. And when it comes to your mood, let's say you're not good at writing all of those things down, you can use an app called Dalio. This is not sponsored. You can use this app called Dalio, which is very helpful for me because it allowed me to differentiate between my depressive modes and my hypomanic modes. So Dalio is really good for one, helping you keep track of your moods, and two, actually explaining the circumstances of the situation when your mood was happening. So write it down, keep track all of that, and bring it to the doctors so that you are able to have the documents to show that you know what you're talking about. So that's one. And here's the second issue when it comes to government hospitals. They are extremely understaffed, and are dealing with a huge amount of patients.
And the nurses are rude and
Not
mean.
always, not always. Some depends on the hospitals, but a lot of hospitals the nurses are more than nice. So, and here's another problem. So even if you got a referral letter and managed to get an appointment, for a lot of government hospitals, it can take sometimes more than a month to get an actual appointment. And for some of us, we are in dire urgency, so that's not ideal. So if you desperately need some help, I definitely suggest that you look up centers, therapy centers in the city or state that you live in, because usually every state, every city has NGOs that can provide those kind of help. They might not be detailed, they might not really get into the nitty gritty of it, but for the short time that you need it before you can go to your appointment, they might be able to sustain you until that point. Now, here is another thing that I suggest, but it might not be applicable or reachable for most people, is that if you can afford it, I definitely suggest that you go to a private hospital at least once or twice. Because because private hospitals, they have more time. The doctors have more time um to actually look you to sort of, what's the word,
But
the private hospitals, the doctors there have a lot more time in just one appointment to actually dive into your symptoms, dive
And
into your,
actually layan your
not
problems.
necessarily layan, even government hospitals pun akan layan, cuma these private hospitals, they just have more time. If you come and ask for an hour, if you come for an appointment, they'll give you an hour for it, like, and you can use up that hour, no problem. So they might be more detailed in helping you figure out what is your problem. But again, not sustainable, especially if they provide you medication. If you were to go to a government hospital and they provide you medication, they will actually give you the medication for free, which is very helpful because medication is expensive as hell in Malaysia. Especially mental health medication, because a lot of it is just, it's pretty new compared to other medications, so it's very very expensive, especially if they are giving you a very high dose for it. So for if you go to a private hospitals and they're suggesting certain medication, if you can afford it, of course, obviously, buy some of it, but if you can't, then it's fine, just wait saja. And because if you were to just buy, again, if you were to buy it yourself, it's very expensive. Also, another thing you need to look out for is the fact that if you go to a private hospital, usually the first session they will ask you to take a blood test because they want to make sure that it's not just something in your
You want to
body,
know if they're on drugs
it's
or
not
not.
something within your body, that's not just going on. Like for example, if you have high T4 or high T3, then that can also cause depression. It can also cause mental illnesses. So they want to make sure that it's not a problem with your blood, etc. So if you're going to private hospital, do not let them do the blood test because the blood test that they do for you can be as expensive as 200 ringgit, sometimes even 300 ringgit. Do not let them do the blood test for you. Instead, ask for the borang that they give out for the blood test because the borang has them write down what exactly they're looking for in your blood test. So take the borang and go to a clinic biasa or even clinic kesihatan, because if you go to clinic kesihatan, or just a private clinic, it costs so a lot less. So please be careful about that. Do a lot of research for yourself. If you feel like you have a specific um, illness or specific disorder like ADHD or autism, bring it up. You are allowed to be very vocal in the kind of treatment and medication that you receive. I forgot, there's one thing I forgot. We can cut this out, right?
Yeah. Oh my
But
god.
there's one more thing I forgot. Do the as for getting the referral letter at the clinic, or if you're going to a private clinic, ask the person at the front desk if the price for a consultation and the price of a referral letter is the same. Because for a lot of places, it's not. A consultation might cost around 50 ringgit, but a referral letter can cost only 25 ringgit. So ask. Just ask a lot of questions. There's nothing wrong with asking a lot of questions, and it's actually very good in helping you figure out what kind of help you need. I think that's about it.
Okay, that's about it. I hope everybody in Malaysia still um. I hope everybody in Malaysia goes and get help because a lot of y'all are.
If you have any questions, just ask in the
If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments or DM me and such. Okay, so don't forget to. Oh my god, I didn't say it. This is the first time me saying it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And thanks for watching. Bye!